Hi, it's Jen with Cherry Tree Beads, and today I'm going to show you how to make this freshwater pearl necklace using bead stringing wire. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is string your beads onto the stringing wire, and I've already done that to save us a little bit of time. And the next thing that you want to do is take your crimp tube and you want to string that onto the wire. And the crimp tubes hold way better than the crimp beads. So I always recommend using the crimp tubes over the beads. The beads are just round and they don't seem to hold as well. And then I'm using a lobster clasp, a stainless lobster, and you're gonna string that on next. And then I'm gonna take my wire and I'm gonna string it back through the crimp bead. And then I'm going to pull that up, right up against my clasp, not right tight up against it because this is going to need to move around. So you want to give it a little bit of space. And then the crimp tool has two different parts to it. The one on the inside has like a U shape and the one on the outside is more open. So you want to crimp it in the inside first where it's the U. And that's going to put your crimp tube in a U shape. You see that? And then you just want to flip it on its side and you want to crimp it in the first one and crimp that U all the way around. And then I personally like to use the tip of the crimp tool, and I like to just get it one more time on the very end just to make sure that it's all coming together nicely. So then you want to string the wire back through your at least the last bead. If you can get it through the last few, that's even better. So there's two, so that'll be good. And then I'm just gonna cut my wire right here. Now, if the wire wouldn't go back through the pearls, then I would wanna put another little silver bead or something else that the wire would fit back through twice. That'll also help lengthen the necklace if you need it a little bit longer. So you can do that if you prefer. It's also a nice look just to have another bead right there at the end. So, but just make sure that your wire does go back through at least one bead on the end. Otherwise, that wire is just sticking out and it can potentially rub on your neck and it just doesn't feel good or look good. So then what we're gonna do to finish the other side is I'm going to pull all the beads tight to the one side. And then I'm gonna cut my wire from the spool. I like to leave it attached just so they don't end up all over the floor. And then I'm gonna string on my crimp tube. And then I've got this soldered or closed jump ring. That's a 6mm stainless I'm gonna put on the other side. And then I'm gonna put that back through the crimp tube. And then I'm gonna string this through the last pearl. I'm just gonna go ahead and do it through the last two pearls. So then I'm just gonna pull all of that tight. And you can also use your crimp tool to grab the end of that wire and pull it if it's hard for you to grab it with your hands. But just pull it and make sure that it's all tight. And the same thing on this side, that you've got some room in your loop there so that the jump ring can move around. And then you want to do the same thing. You want to take your crimp tool and you want to put it in the space that's closest to the joint first. And you want to press that down gently. And that's going to make a U shape. And then we're going to flip it to the side and push it down again to close it. And then again, I like to put it on the end and just give it a little bit of a pinch just to make sure it's good. And then I'm gonna take my cutters and I'm just gonna cut that wire in there as close as I can get it. And it's just as simple as that. You can do a bracelet or a necklace, lots of things doing the same application using the crimp beads and the crimper tool. All the supplies for this can be found at cherrytreebeads.com. Thanks so much for watching.